But the question I want to start out with, in your lifetime, doing everything that you do, I imagine you've seen it all. Have you ever experienced a political climate this contentious and this scary and this chaotic with this kind of violent rhetoric?
Yeah, in the Vietnam era from 68 to 72, that 4-year period, there was unbelievable violence. Black Panthers, terrorists blowing things up, a big movement to attack the police, divided nation, almost 50-50 over the Vietnam War, draft dodgers, families broken up, bodies coming back from Southeast Asia, wounded, coming back. Nobody knew why we were there. A president that was not honest, LBJ, and then another president, Richard Nixon, was not widely liked by the American public, even though he was elected to calm things down. So this has, and I remember it vividly. I was in college, and now we're in a different cycle of hatred because it's just one man that's generating the hatred, and that's Donald Trump. Whereas there was a war back in the 60s and early 70s. So it's different. The level of emotion is different, but it is intense. And now we're seeing it play out in the murder of Charlie Kirk and attacks on various people and institutions. So we're all praying it doesn't get worse, but it could.
I don't see anything being toned down. In fact, there isn't a day that goes by where I don't see a prominent political figure race baiting, calling people fascists and Nazis, othering the other side, calling the other side evil. And I'm not trying to fence sit here. I unquestionably at this point see far more of this happening on the left. I think the right has been guilty of it to some extent, and I appreciate that historically they have been responsible for more political violence. But I would imagine as of late, it's predominantly very far radicalized left. But when you've got Hillary Clinton saying that white men of a certain faith are the problem in our country,
the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, it's just doing such damage.
And then you've got Ilhan Omar saying we should profile white men.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
And then you've got Gavin Newsom saying that ICE is President Trump's private army and making authoritarian references, calling people fascists. He recently called Stephen Miller a fascist and tripled down. He did it 3 times. Cooler days call for layers that last, and Quince is my go-to for quality essentials that feel cozy, look refined, but won't blow your budget. Think $50 Mongolian cashmere, premium denim that fits like a dream, luxury outerwear that you can wear year after year, because these are the pieces that turn into your fall uniform. I'm personally eyeing the wool coats because they look designer level, but they cost a fraction of the price. And honestly, the quality is just as good, if not better. And the way they do this is that they directly go to top tier ethical factories and they cut out the middlemen. So they deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. It's the kind of upgrade with your wardrobe that feels smart, stylish, and effortless. I find my fall staples at Quince, and you can go to quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian. In a row on X. This to me is not toning things down. This to me is ratcheting things up. Is this
Well,
hyperbole what I'm seeing, or are you seeing this as well and you're equally alarmed?
I'm not that alarmed about the politicians because they have always engaged in this kind of stuff. Newsom obviously can't run on how he ran the state of California because it's a disaster. So what Newsom is doing is he's taking the Donald Trump playbook of demonizing the opposition, and he's the avenger now. See, Trump was the avenger for conservatives, MAGA people. He was the avenger. That's why he got elected. A populist avenger. I'm going to go in, drain the swamp, get all these radicals out of there. And that's what he's trying to do. Newsom's saying, I can do that, but I'll just do it on the other end.
Right.
I'll say these are fascist Gestapo, and I'm going to get rid of them. And I'm going to heighten up the rhetoric, just like Trump did. I mean, Trump should sue Newsom for plagiarism. He's taking out the same playbook, and he's just using it on another area. So here's the difference, and it's a little bit worrisome, but I still believe that most Americans are good people. I say 15% of us are evil, and that's across the world too. And you got to watch those 15% because there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? We got 340 million people in this country. You got 15% are evil. You're talking around 50 million people, so you got to be alert. All right, and evil is when you hurt another human being. You know you're hurting them. You do it on purpose, and you don't feel remorse. And if you know a person like that, stay away. But anyway, you got this social media now, and this is the key to this. So back in the Vietnam days that we just talked about, you didn't have that. What you had was a sympathetic media to the anti-war movement, but not crazy. Walter Cronkite was in there and the television, this and that. So there wasn't a central meeting place for the loons. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now there is. And we saw that with Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. His own family said he was radicalized by going to dark recesses of this social media.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are a mentally ill person, and all these people are, across the board, Putin's mentally ill. All right. If you're a mentally ill person, and then you go into a forum where there are other mentally ill people encouraging you to act out whatever psychosis you have, that's dangerous. And you can't do anything about it because of the First Amendment.
Right.
And so it's on the families, it's on the neighborhood to kind of signal this stuff. I'd love to talk to that alleged assassin's father, who was a sheriff's deputy in Utah. I would say, didn't you try to do an intervention here? For my kid, I'd probably chain him in the basement someplace. If I saw this kind of lunacy growing, because then you become dangerous. So that's social media now. That's whole new stuff.
Right.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.